Alright guys, here we are. So very early in the morning tomorrow morning, so I have to make sure that I'm prepared for the trip ahead. So we've cooked up some chicken. We've got 225 grams split into 3 lunch boxes here, and we've also got 225 grams of mince, and then I have cooked my rice up here. We have got about 200 grams, so I'm just going to divide this nice and evenly. I'm not going to weigh this, guys. It's even portions per lunchbox, so just going to divide this evenly, 1 spoon at a time, and then we will be ready to rock. Oh, I forgot to do the greens. I'm going to have to do the greens now after this, fuck's sake, I thought I was finished. But anyway, so I'm actually meant to have potatoes on my rest day, but I actually just soaked the potatoes out for rice because I think rice is just a little bit easier when you are actually on the go, and to be honest, and I think it just mixes a little bit better with everything when you're kind of traveling. And this rice, I've cooked it fresh now. It's not going to be too horrible in the morning. I think sometimes if you cook potatoes, they're cold, they can kind of be a little bit hit or miss, and I just don't feel like they sit on the digestive system as well as the rice does when it is nice and fresh. So there we go, boom. Alright, I'm not going to salt these now, as I have my little salt shaker with me in my meal prep bag, so I'll pop them in the fridge overnight, and then I'm just going to whack them into this little meal prep bag in the morning. And then I've got my little Riz engineered salt shaker. Every little dash is 0.5 grams of salt, so that is absolutely tremendous for traveling, because I can just make sure that I'm having exactly 2 grams in every single meal, as I do normally bring a scales with me when I travel, little travel scales here. But you know when you're like in the car or on the ferry or whatever, taking out the scales, taking out this and that, whereas with that I can just go boom, 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 1, 2, 3, 4. So very, very handy indeed, guys. So now that I have my meal prep done, I'm going to show you how I make my overnight oats in just a second. Right guys, so meal number 1 tomorrow, we're going to have overnight oats. So when I am traveling, I like to have overnight oats, and I think for a lot of people, right, if you're getting up early to go to the gym, or you're getting up early to kind of go to work in the morning, you don't have time to be like cooking the oats on the hob or with the kettle or whatever, or eating warm oats, because they obviously take a lot longer to eat. I think overnight oats can be like really, really handy and convenient for this. So anytime I travel, I always make overnight oats or cold cream and rice the night before, pop it in the fridge and bring it with me the next day. It's super easy to eat. It can be a little bit lower volume than normal oats as well, and it just tastes really, really good, especially when it is warmer, which it is at the moment. So 100 grams of oats for my first meal. So we pop that in on the scales here. Now I really have to make sure I don't overdo it with the water. So it's a balancing act to get like the right amount of water that the oats will soak up, but they won't be like too stodgy or too runny. So I think probably maybe less than double the amount of oats here, and I'll put a little bit of coconut milk in, and then maybe top it up with water if I actually need to. So I think the coconut milk just makes it a little bit nicer of a consistency, if I'm perfectly honest. So that's what I'm going to do there. So coconut milk, here we go. Right, you kind of just want to have enough liquid so that it like just about covers the oats. So let me just weigh this out now and see what it is. I reckon about 160 mils. That's 160 there. It's not even close to covering it, so you probably will have to do about 250, I reckon. Now, let me take a look at that. Okay, that looks pretty solid, right? So, as you can see there, the oats are like just about covered. You can kind of see if I edge this way, the water isn't covering the oats, and if I just lay it out flat, it's just about covered, right? So, that is going to be 250 mils of coconut milk with the oats. And then like when the oats are sitting in the fridge overnight, they like expand and just draw up all the water. So I think will I mix the whey in, or will I have a paste? I think I'll just mix it in and I'll just go lazy. So we've got 50 grams of whey here. Trained by JP Vanilla Whey is, in my opinion, the GOAT. DMAC 10 for this one, guys. You want to get you some on the Trained by JP website. So pop that in there now, give it a little bit of a mix, and just use this spoon. We get a little bit of rice on the end. So hopefully this mixes nice and well now. The vanilla doesn't really mix as well. It can be a little bit clumpy, but hopefully it's not too bad now when I mix it in with this. No, that's actually mixed in really well. It's actually kind of thickened it up a good bit already. Tremendous. Now what I'm going to do as well is I'm actually just going to put the fruit in now and just hope it doesn't get soggy. But I don't have time in the morning to be chopping up a load of berries and doing all that other sort of shit. So I'm just going to pop it in now. And if they get a little bit soggy, they get a little bit soggy. So a bit of a berry medley. This is what I've been loving at the moment. So we'll do 42 of the blueberries. We'll do 100 raspberries. And then we'll chop up some strawberries here. Now let's see, do I get it bang on? 150, 140, yeah, okay. Leave that there. And then the piece de la resistance, we've got our coconut almond butter. I've been seeing on every bodybuilder's YouTube lately, oh guys, if you want to have the most accurate way of weighing your nut butter, put the nut butter on the scales and then take it out with the spoon so you can lick the spoon afterwards and it's exactly the amount of nut butter. I mean, has this not been common knowledge for like the last 10 years? Like, I'm sure I was doing this like 10 years ago. So if people are only figuring that out now, then that's some tragic stuff. 10 grams of nut butter, guys. How fucking miserable is that? Oh sure, it defeats the purpose of me licking the spoon now because
it's tomorrow's nut butter.
It's tomorrow's nut butter. Do you know what I'm going to do, right? I'm actually just going to take, that's 14 grams there now. And then I'm just going to wash this off. There we go. Right, so that is the overnight oats as it stands now. Good morning guys, how are we? It is 20 past 5 in the morning. I think I may have potentially set the alarm a little bit too early. And you know when you get up before you're meant to get up, you get a little bit of a shock. You almost feel like you're going to have a fucking heart attack when that alarm goes off. That's how I feel. And it's actually so dark outside now that it's not even bright enough for me to take my checking photos, which I need to do before I get dressed and do everything else before we hit the road. But I think we'll probably end up hitting the road in about an hour's time. I was going to drop Chloe to Sheffield train station, but I think now I'm going to drop her to Stockport train station as it actually shaves 20 minutes off my journey and she can accompany me some of the way. So yeah, we've got plenty of time so we don't have to rush or stress or anything like that, even though I am a bit of a stressed traveller. But yeah, the house looks so empty. It's weird, especially over in the corner over there where I took the creaming machine. I'm bringing that home with me. But yeah, going to take my checking photos, going to get dressed, probably end up eating my first meal here at Club before I go actually as well. And then we'll hit the road. We'll catch you then. We're rolling. Alright guys, so next morning we've got a little bit of time here, so I'm going to pack all the essentials. First of all, can't go without this. No added sugar ketchup. And we have got our 4 meals here, which actually just perfectly fit in this meal prep bag, which is just absolutely tremendous. So I have to kind of squeeze them in, but they do all perfectly fit. So happy days. And then I will show you my overnight oats from the night before. So boom, there we go. And then I've also got my berries in this big glass container, which I'm hoping is just going to fit nicely in there, and then I could actually fit that in if I wanted to. Tremendous stuff. Ketchup, actually we'll pop it in this one over by the salt. Now, perfect, there we go. Right, so these are the overnight oats from the night before, which I'm actually going to eat now because we have a little bit of time. So there we go. Now that's the consistency that I love. It's kind of like yogurty, and it's like a little bit runny, but like not too runny. We'll give it a taste test. Oh yeah, that is solid. Lovely stuff. So that'll go down extremely easy, tremendous, and we'll get Chloe to pack the car, then we'll hit the road. So meal number 1, guys, are tremendous overnight oats. 100 grams of oats, 250 mils of coconut milk,
10 grams of almond butter, and then we've got 150 grams of berries and 50 grams of whey in there. So macros for this meal will be up on the screen. I'm going to eat this very quickly, grab my can of Monster out of the fridge, which is well needed, and then we're going to hit the road. Alright guys, so the first leg of the journey is done. First like hour and 15 out of like 9. We're at Stockport train station, and this is where myself and Chloe part ways for a week, or like 8 nights. So myself and Chloe have been together just over 3 years now, and I think this is actually the longest
we've ever spent apart.
This is going to be the longest we've ever spent apart. So I'm crying on the inside right now. Will you miss me?
I will, of course.
Yeah.
It's going to be weird. It
is going to be very strange, very strange. We're fucking attached at the hip, to be honest. More so me attached to Chloe's hip than her attached to my hip. I can't do anything without her, so I'm definitely going to struggle without her for the week. But at least we'll both be kept busy. She's going on holidays with her sister
in the morning,
and I'll be at home doing like a million other things between like family events, friend events, etc. So yeah, it's going to be an emotional one, but we will be reunited again, guys. Don't worry. Chloe will be back in the vlogs.
Yeah. I come home Saturday week and he collects me from the airport.
Yeah. So that's the POA. We're just outside Stockport train station now. Like I said, I still haven't fully woken up yet, guys.
Oh, you haven't either, I'm like.
And I'm going to try and see if I can actually run into the toilet here. You might have to wait in the car,
Chloe.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to run into the toilet, go, and then we'll say our goodbyes, myself and Chloe, off camera, because it'll be too soppy for you all on YouTube. And then I'll probably catch up with you in a little bit when I'm further down along my journey, probably when I get to the ferry, because I'd say I'll be waiting about an hour before they let me on with the car. But yeah, we'll catch you in a bit, guys.
Bye.
Alright guys, what is happening? It's a little bit dark, but it is what it is. So we have landed, thank God, at Holyhead Port. Unfortunately, there was a crash along the way which did actually delay me a little bit, but still here with an hour of time to spare before the ferry leaves, because I always leave early in case of an event like this. So we have got meal number 2 here, which is going to be 225 chicken and 50 grams of rice. So one of these meals actually is 65 rice. So I'm going to say this is going to be the meal that is that's 65 rice, and the rest of them will be 50, because like I said, I was meant to have potatoes, but decided for the rice instead, as it's easier when traveling, in my opinion. So Cuba has gotten back to me with my check-in, and my food has actually gone up very slightly. So just a tiny little touch of carbs on both days, and also a little bit of extra fats, which I did ask for. So that is tremendous. I am actually going to change my meal number 1 now, because I got my blood work back recently and my folate is low, like really low, like under the range. And I've been feeling a little bit like wrecked lately, particularly like in the middle of the day. So I think I'm going to up the spinach, asparagus, going to get some eggs in there, all folate-rich foods, and also just supplement with some methylfolate to try and get those folate levels back up. So look, I'll do a proper full day of eating soon. You'll be able to see exactly what my diet looks like. But for now, we are going to get meal number 2 in, because man is fucking starving. I ate my first meal at like 6 o'clock-ish in the morning, maybe a little bit earlier. It's 10 o'clock. Alright guys, so we really are making a habit of these little box of voiceovers in the corner. But anyway, my microphone had a little bit of a malfunction here, which I didn't realise until after I finished the clip. So the audio did actually cut off. So whatever waffle I was speaking here, I'm going to try and remember it and relay it back to you. But anyway, I think I was just complaining about how hungry I was because I hadn't eaten in like 4 hours. Showing the camera my zero sugar ketchup that I always have, which is absolutely essential. And I just made the realization here in a couple of minutes that I actually forgot to bring my spoon with me. I actually didn't. It was buried in the end of my bag, so I did actually remember to bring it. But one thing I do actually say in this is, in my car, I have in the passenger side glove box compartment a supply of all the essentials that I need just in case something like this actually pops up in this scenario. So you'll see here, I have a spoon, boom, that I had in the passenger side compartment. I have spoons, I have sweetener, I have salt, I have tissues, literally everything that sometimes you might forget while you're traveling and you're on the go. I have in there as like an emergency backup plan, just in case I do forget to actually bring something. So guys, fail to prepare, prepare to fail. There's a little top tip for you, right? Always have utensils, salt, tissues, all that shit in the passenger side, because there's nothing worse than bringing a meal with you and not having something like that, because I was so hungry here, I would have just eaten it with my fucking hands. But anyway guys, catch up with you in a bit. There's meal number 2, and we're back to the video. We are finally getting on the ferry. There's been a slight delay, I imagine, as the ferry is meant to leave in like 4 minutes, and I'm only getting on now. So it's going to be iPhone footage from here on out, as the receiver for the mic for my camera has actually broken, which isn't ideal. But I'm going to get on the ferry now, try and find a good seat with a plug for my laptop so that I can do my consultation call and my newsletter, and then we'll catch up with you for the next meal, which should probably be in about an hour, I reckon, because man is still pretty fucking hungry. Okay, meal number 3 here, guys. We are going to have our mincemeat, just so that it's not sitting in the lunchbox for too long, as chicken generally tends to be okay when it's sitting there for a while, but the mince kind of goes a little bit So we have got our 225 grams of mince with our rice and some ketchup, and we have also got some berries on the side. So I think I've got like 400 grams of berries in there for the day, so try not to eat too many of them now, so I actually have some for there. This ferry is actually a little bit quicker than the normal ferry. This is a smaller ferry, and it's only 2 hours to Dublin, which is ideal. So
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
anyway, like I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted. This is a quicker ferry, so I'm actually going to be in Dublin at like 20 past 1, I'd say, half 1, which is mint, because that means that I'll probably be home at like 4 o'clock in Tipperary, which is a little bit earlier than I actually anticipated, which is good. So we're going to eat this meal now. I'm going to do a little bit of work, and then I'll probably catch up with you when I'm in the car waiting to get off the ferry, which is always the worst part of this journey. So yeah. Alright guys, how are we? So it is 25 to 2. I'm just in the car now, waiting to get off the ferry. So I've only just called everyone down to actually get in their cars, and this ferry I've never been on before, but it is tiny and everyone's cars are absolutely wedged in. Look at this. So as you can see here, I'm like right up against the wall, cars like right beside me. I'm on like this mezzanine deck, there's like a downstairs, and everyone is just wedged in. So I imagine it's going to be a very slow, tedious process getting all these fucking cars out of this boat, and I'm very, very tired now. So I definitely think I'm going to pull into the garage that's like literally just outside Dublin Port, get a coffee, try and just pump up my tyre again, my little flat puncture, because I just don't want anything to happen on the way back down to Tip, and hopefully should be home in and around 4 o'clock-ish, I'd say, probably 4:15 latest, so that's not too bad. But definitely looking forward to getting home. My dad and my sister are at home, seeing my 3 dogs, so that'd be nice. And yeah guys, nearly there. Alright guys, so we had a disaster coming out of the port there. My right window, like driver's side window, doesn't work, so when I came out of the port I was like, oh no, I won't go through the tunnel, I'll go through the city. And then when I turned to go through the city, it was saying like that was adding 20 minutes onto my journey or something like that, so I was like, oh no, I'll turn back and I'll go to the port. But by the time I turned back, I had to go the whole way down to the end of the port and turn back around, and then I got met with tons of lorries and trucks and stuff like that, so it ended up adding 30 minutes onto my journey. So retard Dara for not keeping going, and then I hit traffic on the M50, probably because of that half-hour delay. So yeah, I just have to eat my final meal on the road here. Chicken, rice, ketchup. I also got a little Pepsi Max there just to keep me going, even though from drinking the Monster this morning and having the 2 coffees that I had, I'm getting really bad heartburn. But look, it is what it is. It always happens to me when I travel, because I'm just drinking fucking fizzy drinks and coffees to bait the band. But we're 2 hours from home, so once I get this meal into me, I'm just gonna bomb it down the motorway, try and get home as quickly as I possibly can. I think I'll make decent time. So yeah, looking forward to being home now, and definitely very tired after this journey. So meal number 4 is going in, guys. Mackerels will be up on the screen, obviously, even though you've already seen this meal before. Oh, I need to remember to eat my fruit as well. Then we'll catch up with you for the meals later on at home, which I probably will spice up a little bit, add a couple of vegetables to, a little bit of a different sauce or something like that. And Kuba actually upped my food this morning, so I think I'll add some additional almond butter to my oats this evening, and that'll just be chef's kiss. Yes guys, how are we? I hope you're keeping well. So as you can see, I've got the fresh mullet going on here. I obviously have been home for a couple of days, so the last clip you would have seen, I was in Dublin, and by the time I got home, I'm not gonna lie, I completely forgot I was even recording a full day of eating. So I actually ate my last 2 meals and just went to bed and just fucking conked. So today is also a rest day as well. So I'm actually going to show you what my last meal is, because I am going to be making it now in just a second. But I'm just sitting here at my desk. after a very busy day of work, catching up on a lot of things, client check-ins, client setups, etc. But feeling a lot better of a position now after just getting everything boxed off and out of the way with today. So been sitting at this desk for pretty much all day, but I have finally gotten around to doing a bit of editing for the vlog here. And the video is long enough anyway, so I'll probably just wrap it up here, to be honest, once I kind of show you what my last meal is. And I'll do like a proper full day of eating then when I'm kind of back in Rotherham and I'm settled and stuff like that. But I am also going to show you how I kind of handled the eating at the wedding, or when I am up in Cavan for the wedding for like 2 or 3 days. There will be an off-plan meal or two there, but I'm also going to bring a lot of my food with me and cook it on site and just have the majority of my meals and make some kind of substitutions. So my body weight this morning was actually 101.6, so the exact same weight it's been for a long time. Not the exact same weight it's been for a long time, but I was this exact same weight 18 days ago, okay? So I'm on like week 4 now, finished my diet, but my weight has not moved that much and my food has been up 3 times. But I've never looked like this. I feel like we are recomping quite nicely now. I feel like I'm making a ton of progress. The look is really good. I feel really good. Appetite is obviously ravenous, but I'm very fucking excited and optimistic for this push-up to be like my best yet by a fucking mile, to set me up for a very, very productive prep. So I'm going to just box off the rest of this little bit of editing, and then I will go out and I will show you my final meal. I'm going to have a Ninja Creamy with this meal, but I also made 2 Ninja Creamies for my sisters as well, so they could try. So we'll try and get a live taste test of them and see what they think of it. All right, guys, so final meal of the day here. We have got 150 grams of berries with 90 grams of oats, and we're going to add 15 grams of the goat pippa nut almond butter to that. And we also have our Ninja Creamy, so you know I had to bring this bad boy home with me. Let's do a consistency check. Oh, look at that, boys. That is legit. Looking forward to this. So my sister is in the shower, my other sister is in the bath, so they're gonna have to wait for theirs. Chloe is gonna be very jealous when I send her a picture of that Ninja Creamy, as she is missing out on that. But final meal, my auntie's just called over as well, so I don't want to be too rude and be recording too much and like eating this in here and not in there chatting to her. So I'm going to put this together, put the almond butter on the meal, and then I will eat it. I will go to bed very early, try and get a good night's sleep, because I am trying to push with my client Connor tomorrow, who's on prep. So looking forward to that. That would be in the next video for you all. We'll see how he is looking, take him through a couple of round of poses, putting him through his paces. So the macros for this meal will be up on the screen, guys, and I will put the total calories and macros for the day up on the screen here also, just so you can kind of see how we're looking. Now, this last meal is an adjusted meal, okay? I think this was actually 80 grams of oats before, now it's 90 grams of oats, but it's grand, you know, it's not gonna be too much macros in the difference. And like I said, I will do a proper like training day, full day of eating when I am back in the UK. So guys, thank you for watching. If you've made this far, make sure you like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll catch you in the next one. Give me your live taste test reaction.
Oh God. It's lovely.
Yeah. It's a bit bland without the sweetener. But
it's good.
It's still nice. It's good ice cream, isn't it?
I never had it with the sweetener.
It's a good consistency.
Yeah.